Welcome to the abyss of crime, where shadows whisper secrets, and the truth is often stranger than fiction. From chilling unsolved crimes to controversial trials, we explore the darker side of humanity through meticulous investigation and compelling storytelling. In today's exploration, we delve into a chilling new case that will send shivers down your spine. This is the tragic story of Jason Corbett and Molly Martens, a seemingly ordinary couple whose lives took a devastating turn on the night of 2nd August, 2015. Prepare to be captivated as we uncover the secrets, the lies, and the heart-wrenching truth behind their dark and twisted tale. The story of Jason Corbett and Molly Martens is one that gripped the nation, leaving us questioning the nature of love, trust, and the darkness that can lurk within the most unexpected places. It all began with Jason, a handsome and charismatic man from Limerick, Ireland. Born on January 31st, 1971, he grew up in a tight-knit community, surrounded by family and friends. Jason was a hard-working and ambitious individual, driven by his desire to succeed. He pursued a career as a plant manager, a role that brought him both financial stability and professional fulfillment. But behind his success, there was a deep longing for companionship and love. Jason had experienced profound loss, with the tragic death of his first wife, Margaret "Mags" Fitzpatrick, who passed away unexpectedly due to an asthma attack. This loss left Jason as a single father. Further intensifying his longing for companionship, enter Molly Martens, a vibrant and vivacious woman with a magnetic personality. Born on May 30th, 1984, in Knoxville, Tennessee, Molly's early life was marked by tragedy. Her parents divorced when she was young, leaving her with a deep sense of abandonment. Despite the hardships, she emerged as a resilient and strong-willed individual. Molly's journey through life was not an easy one. She faced her own battles with mental health, struggling with depression and anxiety. Despite these challenges, she managed to build a life for herself, excelling academically and pursuing a career in nursing. It was in 2008 that the paths of Jason and Molly would intertwine. They met in 2008 when Molly was hired to work as a nanny for Jason's children. As she cared for his children, a spark ignited between them. Their connection was undeniable, and their relationship quickly blossomed. Jason found solace in Molly's warmth and nurturing nature, while Molly was drawn to Jason's stability and kindness. After a whirlwind romance, Jason and Molly tied the knot in 2011, blending their families and creating a sense of unity. Together, they embarked on a new chapter, relocating to the United States, specifically North Carolina, where Jason had secured a promising job opportunity. North Carolina offered a fresh start for the Corbett Martens family. They settled into a picturesque home in a quiet suburban neighborhood, surrounded by the tranquility of nature. It seemed as though Jason and Molly were living the American dream, their love and happiness radiating from every corner of their lives. But beneath the surface, cracks were beginning to form. The idyllic facade would soon crumble, revealing a darker truth that would change their lives forever. Join us as we plunge into the depths of this chilling tale, unraveling the mystery of what happened on that fateful night. The night of 2nd August, 2015, started like any other for the Corbett Martens household. 39-year-old Jason Corbett, a successful plant manager, and his second wife, Molly Martens, a vibrant and outgoing woman from Knoxville, Tennessee, lived with their two young children, Jack and Sarah, in a quiet suburban neighborhood in Davidson County, North Carolina. But as the clock struck midnight, their peaceful world devolved into chaos. It was during the early hours of that fateful Sunday morning that tragedy would strike, leaving a trail of shock and confusion in its wake. The sequence of events began when one of Molly's family members, Tom Martens, who happened to be staying with them, made a frantic 911 call. He reported a domestic disturbance at the residence, claiming that Molly had attacked Jason with a baseball bat. The operator dispatched law enforcement and medical personnel to the scene, unaware of the horrifying scene that awaited them. When the authorities arrived, they found Jason Corbett lying lifeless on the bedroom floor, his body battered and bruised. Molly, in a state of distress, claimed self-defense, insisting that she had acted to protect herself and her children. But the evidence told a different story. Jason's injuries were far more severe than could be explained by self-defense. As investigators meticulously combed through the crime scene, they discovered blood spatter and signs of a violent struggle. The baseball bat, allegedly used by Molly, was found nearby, stained with blood. The house itself bore the marks of a chaotic altercation, with shattered glass and overturned furniture. Paramedics rushed Jason to the hospital, desperately trying to save his life, but their efforts were in vain. He succumbed to his injuries and was pronounced dead. The news sent shockwaves through the community, leaving friends, family, and neighbors in disbelief. Meanwhile, Molly and Tom, a former FBI agent, were taken into custody for questioning. The authorities sought to piece together the events leading up to the tragic incident. Both Molly and Tom provided statements, but their stories contradicted one another and did not align with the evidence found at the scene. The investigation was just beginning, and the truth behind the night of the incident remained elusive. As the hours turned into days, the case would take an even darker turn, revealing secrets and motives that would shake the very foundations of this seemingly ordinary suburban family. In the wake of Jason Corbett's tragic death, the Davidson County Sheriff's Office launched an intensive investigation to uncover the truth. Detectives meticulously gathered evidence, conducted interviews, and examined the circumstances surrounding the night of the incident. During the initial questioning, Molly Martens maintained her claim of self-defense, stating that she had acted to protect herself and her children from Jason's alleged abuse. However, the evidence at the crime scene did not align with her version of events. The severity of Jason's injuries, coupled with the chaotic state of the house, raised suspicions among the investigators. As the investigation progressed, the authorities began to delve deeper into the backgrounds of both Molly and Jason. It became apparent that there were underlying issues within their marriage that could shed light on the events leading up to that fateful night. Molly Martens, known for her vibrant personality and charm, had a history of mental health struggles. She had sought treatment for depression and anxiety in the past, which raised questions about her emotional state during the incident. Investigators delved into her medical records, seeking any clues that could provide a motive or shed light on her actions that night. Jason Corbett's family, particularly his sister Tracy and his brother-in-law David Lynch, expressed concerns about Molly's mental health and her ability to care for the children. They claimed that there were instances of erratic behavior and emotional instability in the past, which raised red flags about the overall well-being of the family. The investigation also revealed a history of tension and conflict within the household. Friends and family members shared stories of arguments and strained relationships, painting a picture of a troubled marriage. Allegations of physical abuse were brought to light, with some claiming that Jason had been the aggressor in prior altercations. As the pieces of the puzzle began to come together, the authorities faced a complex case with conflicting narratives and a web of secrets. The initial police investigation would set the stage for the legal battle that would follow, as the truth behind Jason Corbett's death continued to elude both the investigators and the community at large. To understand the full context of the Jason Corbett murder case, it is essential to delve into the background and mental health history of Molly Martens. Born on May 30th, 1984, in Knoxville, Tennessee, Molly's early life was marked by both tragedy and resilience. Molly grew up in a broken home, with her parents divorcing when she was young. This event left a lasting impact on her, fueling a deep sense of abandonment and emotional turmoil. Despite these challenges, Molly displayed remarkable resilience, determined to create a better life for herself. Education became Molly's refuge and source of hope. She excelled academically, earning a nursing degree and embarking on a career in the healthcare field. However, beneath her outward success, Molly struggled with mental health issues, including depression and anxiety. Throughout her life, Molly sought treatment for these conditions, attending therapy sessions and taking medication to manage her symptoms. Her battle with mental health played a significant role in her relationships and decision-making. Molly's mental health struggles became a focal point during the investigation into the night of the incident. Investigators scrutinized her medical records, seeking any evidence that could shed light on her emotional state leading up to the fatal altercation. The question of whether Molly's mental health contributed to the tragedy would be a subject of intense debate throughout the legal proceedings. The death of Jason Corbett sent shockwaves through his family, leaving them devastated and desperate for answers. His sister, Tracy Corbett Lynch, and her husband, David Lynch, were particularly vocal in expressing their concerns about Molly Martens' role in the tragedy. Tracy and David had been actively involved in Jason's life, providing emotional support and guidance. Having observed the dynamics within Jason and Molly's marriage, they grew increasingly worried about the children's safety. They claimed Molly's mental health issues and erratic behavior were troubling. Driven by their commitment to protecting Jason's children, Tracy and David initiated legal proceedings to gain custody. They alleged that Molly was unfit to care for the children, citing her mental health history and the events of the night of the incident. The ensuing legal battle would become a fierce tug-of-war, pitting Jason's family against Molly and her supporters. In the aftermath of the tragic incident, the testimony of Jason and Molly's two young children, Jack and Sarah, played a crucial role in the investigation and subsequent legal proceedings. Their accounts provided a glimpse into the events leading up to their father's death and the dynamics within the household. Initially, both children were questioned by authorities and recounted witnessing the altercation between their parents. Their statements aligned with the evidence found at the crime scene, painting a grim picture of a violent struggle. However, as time went on, their testimonies began to shift and evolve. Child psychologists and experts were brought in to better understand the children's changing accounts. It became clear that the trauma of witnessing their father's death had taken a toll on their young minds, leading to confusion and the potential for suggestion. The children's memories were malleable, and their initial statements may have been influenced by external factors. Through therapy and careful questioning, the children's testimonies underwent changes. Their recollections became less consistent, leading to doubts about the accuracy of their initial statements. The evolving nature of the children's accounts added another layer of complexity to an already complex case, leaving investigators and legal experts grappling with the challenge of uncovering the truth. The legal battle for custody of Jack and Sarah, Jason Corbett's children, unfolded against the backdrop of the criminal investigation into their father's death. Jason's sister, Tracy Corbett Lynch, and her husband, David Lynch, fought to gain custody, citing concerns about Molly Martens' fitness as a parent. Given that Jason had previously designated Tracy as the legal guardian of his children in the event of his death, her petition was strongly supported by this pre-established legal guardianship. On August 18, 2015, just 16 days after Jason's death, the court granted Tracy Lynch guardianship of Jack and Sarah. The children were then moved to Ireland to live with Tracy and her family. The court's decision would have long-lasting consequences, impacting not only the children, but also the family dynamics and the ongoing criminal proceedings. The first trial in the case of Jason Corbett's murder captivated both the local community and the nation at large. Molly Martens and her father, Tom Martens, were charged with second-degree murder and voluntary manslaughter, respectively. The trial became a battleground of conflicting narratives, intense emotions, and legal strategies. The prosecution argued that Molly had brutally attacked Jason, causing his death, and that Tom was complicit in the crime. They presented evidence, including the blood-stained baseball bat and testimony from witnesses, to support their case. They painted a picture of a troubled marriage and alleged instances of abuse. The defense, on the other hand, portrayed Molly as a loving mother who had acted in self-defense. They argued that Jason had been the aggressor, pointing to his previous violent behavior and his alleged abuse of Molly. The defense attempted to undermine the credibility of the prosecution's witnesses and raised doubts about the evidence presented. After weeks of testimony and deliberation, the jury rendered their verdict. Molly Martens was found guilty of second-degree murder, while her father, Tom Martens, was convicted of voluntary manslaughter. The courtroom erupted in a mix of emotions, with some celebrating the verdict as justice served and others expressing shock and disbelief. The first trial's verdict marked a pivotal moment in the case, providing closure for some and leaving others questioning the fairness of the legal proceedings. The aftermath of the trial would set the stage for an intense appellate process and further challenges to the verdict. The story of Jason Corbett's murder continued to unfold, leaving no doubt that this case was far from over. Following the conviction of Molly Martens and her father, Tom Martens, both parties immediately began the process of appealing the verdict. The defense argued that there were errors in the trial proceedings, including the admission of certain evidence and the credibility of witnesses. They contended that the jury had been swayed by emotions rather than facts. The appellate process was a lengthy and arduous one, involving extensive legal arguments, briefs, and oral arguments. The defense presented their case, highlighting the alleged errors and inconsistencies in the trial. They sought to demonstrate that Molly had acted in self-defense and that her conviction was unjust. In a surprising turn of events, the appellate court agreed with the defense's arguments and reversed the convictions. They cited the errors in the trial proceedings, ruling that the evidence presented did not support the charges of second-degree murder and voluntary manslaughter. Molly and Tom were granted a new trial, reopening the case and reigniting the public's interest and the family's anguish. The reversal of the convictions added yet another layer of complexity to an already complex case. It left Jason's family reeling, feeling as if justice had been denied. The legal battle would continue with a renewed intensity, as both sides prepared for the second trial and the quest for truth and accountability resumed. As Molly Martens and her father, Tom Martens, faced the prospect of a new trial, the stakes were higher than ever. The legal teams on both sides refined their strategies, armed with the lessons learned from the first trial and the appellate process. The second trial began, once again captivating the nation's attention. the prosecution sought to present a stronger case, addressing the issues raised during the appeal. They called forth witnesses, introduced new evidence, and meticulously crafted their narrative to convince the jury of Molly's guilt and Tom's complicity. The defense, on the other hand, remained steadfast in their assertion of Molly's self-defense and the lack of evidence to support the charges. They challenged the credibility of witnesses, introduced their own experts, and highlighted the flaws in the prosecution's case. After weeks of intense courtroom drama, the jury deliberated and rendered their final verdict. Molly Martens was convicted of second-degree murder once again, while her father, Tom Martens, was found guilty of aiding and abetting the crime. The courtroom erupted in a mix of emotions, with families on both sides grappling with the impact of the verdict. The final verdict brought a sense of closure to the Corbett family, who had long awaited justice for their beloved Jason. It also marked a turning point in the lives of Molly and Tom Martens, as they faced the consequences of their actions. The legal battle had reached its conclusion, but the impact of this case would forever shape the lives of those involved. As the dust settled on the Jason Corbett murder case, the community at large and the nation were left grappling with the deeper questions that it raised. The tragic tale of love, betrayal, and violence had captivated our collective consciousness, leaving us questioning the nature of relationships, the complexities of mental health, and the thin line between truth and perception. As we conclude our exploration of the Jason Corbett case, we invite you, our viewers, to engage with us. What do you believe truly happened on the night of the incident? Were the convictions just? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments section below. We value your insights and perspectives as we continue to seek the truth. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the shadows of the abyss of crime. We hope that our exploration of the Jason Corbett case has shed light on the deeper issues that lurk beneath the surface of society. If this series has captured your interest, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the darkest corners of criminal investigations. Please click the bell icon to ensure you don't miss any updates. Your engagement helps us bring these important stories to light. Until next time, stay vigilant and keep seeking the truth. Goodbye for now.